So, about a year ago, I was gifted a very special video, one that is great. It is called Meet the Markles. And unfortunately, because of YouTube and because of the copyright restrictions, I never had a really good way to share it. Because even when I did it, even if I demonetized it, it still got blocked. And so it's taken a little bit of time and work for me to finally make a way to really be able to share this video. But I think I found a way to share it, and that's what I'm going to start today. This is the first one. So let's get into this. Before we get started, please do me a favor and hit that like button. And when you get to the end, I do hope you leave a comment, leave an emoji. Just tell me anything you want to tell me. It's been a while and I missed you guys, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this. Now, this is Amelia Dimoldenberg, and she's an English comedian and presenter. She does a TV show in the UK called the Chicken Shop Dates or something like that, where she goes on first dates with people in a chicken shop. And I love her sense of humor. It kind of is in line with mine. I particularly enjoy her and her sense of humor. But what she did was, before the wedding of Harry and Meghan, she did a whole special where she goes over to the US and she is going to get to know Meghan by finding out where Meghan came from, what her roots are, including meeting her family.
Once upon a time, a young man dreamed about finding true love. And there was a little girl who dreamed about being a princess. That was me. But it was actor and humanitarian Meghan Markle who ended up with Prince Harry. And I'm really happy for them. They were oceans apart, and from families who seemed unlikely to ever meet. But in the full glare of the media gaze, something beautiful happened. Meghan met Harry. And more importantly, off the back of that, I got a jocks. Jeans. Got jeans. Mum, where's my passport? I actually was doing a lot of research.
Really?
Yeah. I'm doing a family tree plan.
You've done all that work yourself?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Who do you think you are?
Oh, I love who. Okay, so I don't have access to Meghan's inner circle just yet, but I've sent out a bunch of friend requests. It's only a matter of time. Meghan's parents are divorced. Her dad now lives in Mexico. Apparently, he's a bit of a recluse, so that's going to be tricky. Her mum, though, still lives here in LA, and that's where Meg was born and raised. And I've already managed to make contact with someone who knows that side of the family.
So I have decided that the best way to sort of present this and to get it through YouTube is to present it with the different themes. So the first episode is going to be about Meghan's first kiss. And already we have issues. But Amelia is going to go and meet with the gentleman who claims to be Meghan's first kiss. And that man is Joshua Silverstein.
Managed to track down somebody who used to know Meghan pretty well. Meghan's first kiss, actually. And he's called Joshua Silverstein. Joshua, it turns out, is quite a well-known comedian who regularly appears on talk shows like The Late Late Show with James Corden. So apparently Joshua has a special skill. He's a beatboxer. Great, I love beatboxers. So how do you know when someone's a beatboxer? Don't worry, they'll show you. Wow.
You're right.
Yeah.
Wow is exactly right.
Now, I apologize for the stars. Like I said, I had to jump through a few hoops in order to get this past YouTube copyrights. So Joshua Silverstein is in fact a famous comedian, or shall we say he is an aspiring comedian. And he works with the James Corden show. Now, we remember when Harry came over to LA, who was the first person to interview him in the midst of COVID? Well, of course, James Corden. So there is a bit of a connection there. Was this gentleman, in fact, just trying to become more famous by claiming to have kissed Meghan Markle? I have my suspicions, but there's good reason to believe that as you start to hear more of Joshua's story.
Joshua then?
Yes.
Yeah. When did you start beatboxing?
When I was 5.
Yeah, and you're still doing it?
I am professionally.
Still beatboxing?
Still beatboxing.
Yeah.
Based on the Jewish Journal, I am one of the top 5 beatboxers in the world.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the other 4?
Not important.
Not important, no. So I guess we're here to talk about Meghan.
We are. So Meghan Markle and I met at a theater camp in LA in about 1994. Meghan and I were both theater nerds. Our parents knew each other from the church, Agape, and thought that Meghan and I should go to this camp. So we learned how to do monologues and write scenes.
Now, already, I'm a little dubious of Mr. Silverstein's story. The reason being that he mentioned there that it is, in fact, the Jewish Journal that named him to be one of the top 4 beatboxers in LA. Additionally, you have the fact that Mr. Silverstein happens to be a Jewish activist, which, call me crazy, he's named by the Jewish Journal, he's a Jewish activist. I'm going to take a guess that he is therefore then Jewish, which then makes you wonder how it is that he was a part of the same church as Dorito and Tom Sr. Do you see the problem there? It is unlikely that someone who is not only Jewish but an activist named by the Journal, clearly someone who is very proud of his Jewish roots and rather involved in the Jewish community, is going to then turn around and have been a part of this cult-like church that Dorito and Markle Sr. were a part of. So how was he then meeting her at church? Do you see the problem?
And project our voices. No beatboxing in that workshop.
So tell me about you and Meghan's first kiss.
Well, people have asked me that a lot lately. And
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's okay. We were in the lobby. I think camp had ended that day. She made a beeline toward me, and like she made the move, and she just laid her lips on my face.
Really?
Right in this area, right here.
On your lips?
It wasn't like a wet or tongue kiss. It was
just
mwah, but a longer.
Like what?
Like mwah. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Was it good?
It was fine. I mean, I think it'd be weird to be a 37-year-old man talking about how good a kiss was from a 14-year-old girl, right?
Yeah, but you were 14 then.
Sure. But isn't it weird to be like, man, that kiss?
No.
No? Oh.
And I do get the sense that he's spending more time talking about himself and his beatboxing than he is talking about Meghan, which presumably should be the purpose of this. And yet, that's again why I feel like this is more just about advertisement for him. I mean, clearly he is a character, right? He is not, shy. He's not a quiet guy. He's a comedian. He is apparently the only black guy that Meghan ever dated. And yet that was her first kiss. I mean, there's so much about this that isn't adding up. Not the least of which is that I don't get the feeling that she ever went to theater camp. She was not a theater nerd. If anything, she was the one who expected to go in and get the lead role without ever studying her craft, as we have seen.
Did you ever go over to the house?
No, we never went over to each other's houses.
So I heard the neighborhood's pretty rough.
No, I don't know.
There was newspapers saying that it was like...
Oh, really?
I guess it was a tabloid, so...
I never really got a sense of...
So it's a really nice place to grow up then?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he's talking about his hometown. And he's saying he never got a sense that the neighborhood was rough? That's not making any sense. And I think he realized that when Amelia came back with, so it wasn't a bad place to grow up. Like, it was like almost as though she was reminding him, this is where you grew up. You don't get a sense of it. You either know it or you don't because you grew up there. Unless, of course, he never did. I mean, supposedly he was going to church with her there. He was in the same neighborhood. They were friends. They were growing up together. I'm not buying the whole story. Instead, he seems to be advertising himself as a comedian, as a character, and looking to make money.
Did they break up?
She did. She did. It was originally her idea. Yeah.
How did she say it to you?
She was like,
it's over.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
There wasn't so much leave me alone, but it was definitely like, hey, this is not a relationship anymore. Yeah.
So are you happy for Meghan now that she's married Prince?
Very happy for her. I mean, she's a great person. She's got a good head on her shoulders. It is a beautiful symbol for young African American people to see someone break ethnic color lines.
And let's not forget, he is an activist. So, of course, that had to come into play. That this was, in fact, an achievement somehow for Meghan to become the Duchess of Sussex. I have no idea what that achievement was, but apparently it means something. I am of Eastern European descent. I never consider it an achievement for me that Melania Trump became the First Lady of the United States. That doesn't mean that I achieved something, but that's just the way I look at things. But he is an activist, so far we know more about him than we really do about what Meghan was like at the time, even though this is theoretically about getting to know Meghan better. But when it comes to any of the specifics, I never went to her house, he knew her family, but not well, she ended it, the kiss was just a kiss. There's not a whole lot of detail here, most likely because, in my opinion, allegedly, do your own research and form your own conclusions, I don't think he's ever met her. Or at least he hadn't met her at the time, and if he did, he certainly didn't meet her when he was 14 in theater camp.
Yeah. Joshua seems like a cool guy, and I can see why Meghan liked him. But can he help me on my quest?
Do you know anyone else in her family that maybe would want to speak to me?
No, not at all.
Really?
Not even a little bit.
It turns out that all he can offer me is more beatboxing.
Which he then proceeds to do, but I didn't feel that we needed to hear it again. So this is my impression. Like I said, I believe that he is a friend of James Corden. He was willing to do this, and it made a good story. And so he became the new first kiss of Meghan. Maybe she doesn't even remember her first kiss. Who knows? Or maybe her first kiss said, I want nothing to do with this. But either way, I don't believe that he was her first kiss. Of course, it can't be proven. The two of them say it. Were either of them ever in theater camp? I doubt it. But this is all where the carefully constructed story, the narrative, starts to develop. Remember, Amelia said, I heard it was a rough neighborhood. And he said, well, no, it really wasn't. But it's a matter of getting the story out and creating the storyline. Now, there's more episodes or more parts of this, and I'm going to show them as different episodes. You're going to see that this is kind of very early stages. They didn't really know what their story was going to be going forward, and whether this was completely invented by Amelia's crew, whether it was invented by Meghan's crew, who knows? Whether it was invented by the Markles. Nobody really knows, but it was something that then kind of becomes a part of the lore, the story behind Meghan. And I think looking back now, it's very interesting as we see where it developed and how it started. So, tell me what you think. Do you think he's for real? Do you think that she really did have her first kiss with this gentleman? What about the fact that he's a Jewish activist? It's highly unlikely he was ever at any sort of church with Meghan. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a great day, filled with love, laughter, and of course, dancing.